Hey there. It's March 30th and time for Proverbs 30 over there. Now, this is probably my favorite chapter in Proverbs. Because of the truth that it tells, right? Now, these are the words of Agar, son of Jacob. It says the oracle, okay? It's a prophecy, okay? And in this first part that's highlighted, he is talking to Ithiel and Ukal, which are other scholars, thought to be other scholars, right? And it's very prophetic, you might say. Okay, the words of Ithiel, Agar, son of Jacob, the oracle, or a prophecy. The man's oration to Ithiel, and Ukal. There's a note here, right? I am more stupid than any man. I lack a man's ability to understand. I have not gained wisdom, and I have no knowledge of the Holy One. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his hands? Who has bound the waters in a cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is the name of his son, capital S, if you know? Now, this winds it up, okay? The key to wisdom, this whole thing about wisdom, is realizing that you can never be all wise, okay? No matter how much you learn and know, everybody on earth knows something that you don't know, okay? All the wisdom you can amass is a teaspoon in the ocean, so to speak. Very prophetic. The key to wisdom is realizing that you will never be wise. You can seek wisdom and never stop seeking wisdom. That's why you don't stop. I'm all wise now. I can stop learning. You never stop learning. Okay. And I really like this. God, what is his name and what is the name of capital H, capital of his son, if you know? Now, this was written 1,000 years before Jesus. Okay. Jesus is all over the Old Testament. Okay. The entire Bible is about Jesus. Good stuff. Verse 5, every word is pure. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Important. Don't add to his words, or he will rebuke you, and you will be proved a liar. This has been done over and over again. Many doctrines and even entire religions have been started because people add words to God's word that aren't there. Okay? 7. Okay, this is Agar's prayer. Okay? And 7, 8, and 9. You can pray this. All right. 2 things I ask of you. Don't deny them to me before I die. Keep falsehood and deceitful words far from me. Give me neither poverty nor wealth. Feed me with the food I need. Otherwise, I might have too much and deny you, saying, who is the Lord? Or I might have nothing and steal, profaning the name of my God. So, Agar's prayer. Very simple. Keep lies and falsehood far from me. Give me neither poverty nor wealth. You want just enough. Being rich is having just enough. Okay? Too much. Too much, you deny the Lord. Okay? You forget about God. You get excessively wealthy. You think you don't need the Lord. You might have nothing. Be forced to steal or starve to death. Good prayer. 10. Don't slander a servant to his master. He will curse you and you will become guilty. This 11 through 14. This there's a generation, and these generations repeat themselves, okay? Nothing is new under the sun. There's a generation that curses his father and does not bless his mother. There's a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet not washed from its filth. There is a generation how haughty its eyes and pretentious its looks. Right? Eyelids lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are swords and whose fangs are knives, devouring the oppressed from the land and the needy from among mankind. These generations come and go. Right? I think we're in one of these generations now. They think they're better than everybody else. They don't think they have to work. Right? They think they're pure, but they're filthy. They look down on everybody, haughty, pride, arrogant, conceited. Whose teeth are swords and fangs are knives, right? Devouring the oppressed from the land. 15, the leech has 2 daughters. Give. Okay, this. I had to learn what this meant, okay? A leech has a forked tongue, and each one of those forks is always searching for blood. That's what daughters were, okay? A leech has a forked tongue. Always searching for blood and never satisfied. 3 things are never satisfied. 4 never say enough. 3, no 4. He does this like 3 times in here. Sheol is never satisfied. A childless womb. A woman at these times was considered worthless unless they could produce a child. Okay. Earth, which is never satisfied with water. Right? If you don't water it, it becomes a desert. A fire, which never says enough. Right? You have to keep feeding a fire, otherwise it'll go out. Okay? Things that are never satisfied. 17. As for the eye that ridicules a father and despises obedience to a mother, may the ravens of the valley pluck it out and young vultures eat it. Okay. That was serious when he said, honor your father and mother. Right? There's a no 3, no 4. 3 things are beyond me. 4 I can't understand. Okay. The way of an eagle in the sky. Right? How do they fly? The way of a snake on a rock. Right? How do they move? The way of a ship at sea. Right? And my favorite, the way of a man with a young woman. With a maid, a young woman. You ever seen a bunch of tough guys at a party or somewhere, and a pretty girl walks in, and they all turn into idiots? Okay, it's fun to watch, right? Hard to understand. This is a way of an adulteress. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done nothing wrong. Okay. She hath her desires, and after counterfeiteth as though she were an honest woman. She has her desires, and after counterfeiting, thinks she's done nothing wrong. There's a no 3, no 4. The earth trembles under 3 things it cannot bear up under 4. A servant when he becomes a king. A fool when he is stuffed with food. An unloved woman when she marries. And a servant girl when she ousts her queen. Now this happens too. There's another 4 things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise. 4 things. He likes the number 4, right? Does it over and over again. The ants are not a strong people, yet they store up their food in the summer. They have no leader, right? Hyraxes are not a mighty people, yet they make their home in the cliffs. Okay, hyraxes, conies, rock badgers, some people call them. Right? Locusts have no king, yet all of them march in ranks. Right? Notice I've seen the locust. There's no leader, but it's an army. Small and wise. A lizard can be caught in your hands, yet it lives in kings' palaces. Spider. The spider. Right? Spiders are. I find lizards in my house all the time, and my house is sealed, so I think. Right? There's another. 3 things are stately in their stride, 4 are stately in their walk. 3, no, 4. A lion, which is mightiest among beasts, right? Stately in their stride, doesn't retreat before anything. A strutting rooster, right? Very proud. A goat, which just doesn't care. Right? And a king at the head of his army, right? A king feels strong if he has everybody behind him. Yeah? But if he doesn't, hey, good advice here. If you have been foolish by exalting yourself, or if you have been scheming, put your hand over your mouth. For the churning of milk produces butter, twisting a nose produces blood, and stirring up anger produces strife, right? You're being proud, bragging, conceited, right? Put your hand over your mouth, right? Turning a mouth produces butter, twisting a nose draws blood, and stirring up anger produces strife. And exalting yourself and being prideful and arrogant, right? Will do all these things, right? Get you in trouble. So there's Proverbs 30. Good stuff. So, yeah, that's good stuff. I highlight a lot in here. Key to all of Proverbs right here. Okay. In my opinion, anyways. All right. Say to his friends, I am more stupid than any man, and I lack a man's ability to understand. I have not gained wisdom. I have no knowledge of the Holy One. Can you know everything about God? No. You can understand God, but it only makes you fear the Lord more and have more awesome respect for his powers, right? Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his hands? Who has bound the waters up in a cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? Right? What is his name? And what is the name of his son, if you know? Jesus in the Old Testament, right? You can find Jesus in every single book of the Old Testament. Good stuff. Every word of God is pure. Fine. He's a shield to those who take refuge in him. Get that? Don't add to his words, or he will rebuke you, and you will be proved a liar. Don't add to these. A lot of people do. Okay. God told me this. It said at the end there will be no more prophecies. And people make them up. A big one. Don't add to his words. God, his, capital H. Beggar's prayer. We could pray this. 2 things I ask of you, don't deny them to me before I die. Keep falsehood and deceitful words far from me. Give me neither poverty nor wealth. Feed me with the food I need. Otherwise, I may have too much and deny you, saying, who is the Lord? Or I might have nothing and steal, profaning the name of my God. Right? Jesus alluded to this, right? Give us this day our daily bread. Right? Good stuff. Many generations. Right? These repeat over and over again. There's a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. There's a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet not washed from its filth. Generation is here now, right? There's a generation how haughty its eyes and pretentious its looks. Pretentious. Looking down on everybody. And its eyelids are lifted up. Right? Looking down your nose at people. There's a generation whose teeth are swords and whose fangs are knives, devouring the oppressed from the land and the needy from among mankind. Right? It's people that just don't care. Right? The leech has two daughters, give and give, a forked tongue. Right? Four things are never satisfied: Sheol, a childless womb; earth, which is never satisfied with water; and fire, which never says enough. All right. Even though the earth has water all over it, it's never satisfied, right? Because there are deserts. Right? There are deserts because they don't get water. Right? And the fire goes out. Right? Never says enough. You never feed a fire and says, okay, that's enough, now I'm burning. No, you have to keep feeding a fire. Right? Or things that are beyond Agar, you can't understand. How an eagle flies, right? How a snake moves on a rock. How a ship. Some people do know how ships sail on the sea. I don't. Okay, it's a mystery how the wind can be blowing one way and they can set their sails and go right into that wind and move. That doesn't make sense to me, right? In the way of a man with a young woman, right? You want to see somebody's personality change? Like a pretty girl in the room, man. Four things. Another four things. Small yet wise. Another four things. Stately in their walk. And good advice. If you've been foolish by exalting yourself, bragging, right? Or been scheming, put your hand over your mouth, right? It'll get you in trouble, right? Always bring you down. But turning a mouth produces butter, twisting the nose draws blood, and stirring up anger produces strife. Okay, so you go. That's Proverbs 30. Like I said, this is and most of it's highlighted because it's good stuff in here, just good stuff. And the key to wisdom, right? And a wonderful prayer, right? If you could pray this prayer and believe this prayer, right, you will have a good life. Okay? You will have a good life. So there you go. Stay tuned later today. We are in, I think we're in, come on. Chapter 5. We're still in Luke chapter 5, okay? And he chooses Matthew, the call of Matthew, Levi. So, stay tuned for that. Give us a like if you think about it. But till tomorrow, continue one more day, and we're finished with Proverbs again for the 19th time, and we'll start the 20th time, right, on Tuesday. So, see you then. Be good.